All right, let's just get right into it. Something huge is happening with how we connect with each other. I mean, from dating to friendships, the old rules are basically being thrown out the window. And by 2026, the whole game is going to look completely different.
And it really all kicks off with this number. Nearly 80% of people on dating apps say they are just burnt out. 80%. That's not a trend, that's a system that's completely broken. If you've been on the apps, you know exactly what this feels like.
And the way people are reacting to this burnout, well, it's getting kind of wild. People are so done with the digital dating scene that a growing number are actually turning to AI companions for romance. But that's not the real story here. The AI thing is just a symptom, right? It's this big, flashing warning sign pointing to a much deeper need that just isn't being met.
Because, see, this isn't just about a few bad dates. This is a wake-up call about a massive shift in our entire social world. And the crazy part? The blueprint for understanding what's happening and what's coming next is hiding in a place you would never, ever think to look.
That burnout we all feel scrolling through dating apps, turns out it's part of a much bigger wave of digital exhaustion. For more than a decade, we've been trying to connect through algorithms that were built for quantity, not quality. And honestly, we're all just hitting a wall. And because of that, people are starting to push back. Hard. This rebellion against burnout is shaping the entire dating scene for 2026. It's got a name: intentional dating. And it's basically a complete rejection of that mindless, endless swiping. People are demanding clarity, real talk, and actual connection, which is leading to this historic rise in people choosing to be single rather than just settling. And we're not talking about a small change here. Globally, there are about 100 million more single people now than there were just 10 years ago. This is not some niche little group. This is a massive worldwide demographic shift that's changing literally everything from the housing market to the economy. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because there's a hidden pattern in the data. Studies are showing that single women are reporting way higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction than single men are. This completely flips that old, tired, lonely spinster stereotype on its head. It suggests that for a lot of women, being single isn't just a waiting room, it's the destination. But okay, while a lot of people are happier being single, there is a huge hidden downside. Our entire society, from our tax codes to our real estate market, is basically designed for couples with two incomes. So if you're living solo, you're paying for it, literally. People are calling it the singles tax. Now, it's not a real tax from the government, but it's the total of all the extra money you have to spend just because you're not splitting bills with a partner. We're talking housing, utilities, even vacations. It's a real, measurable financial burden that's kind of built into the system. And when you look at the actual numbers, wow, they are just staggering. In a city like Washington, D.C., the extra yearly cost for a single person just to afford a standard condo is almost $18,000. In San Francisco, it's over $41,000. That is the singles tax in action. It's a massive economic wall you have to climb all by yourself. And this chart right here really shows why that singles tax is so painful. Almost half of all single households make less than $50,000 a year. So you're already dealing with that, plus you can't split the bills. It creates this immense financial pressure. So what happens when people are totally burnt out from the mainstream internet and they're feeling that economic squeeze of living alone? Well, a kind of quiet migration begins. They start looking for new, better ways to find their people, to find a real sense of belonging. And the answer that's bubbling up everywhere is the micro-community. So here's the simple version. It's a small, focused group online that's built around something everyone there loves, like a book club or a fitness group or a specific hobby. The whole point is that they prioritize real, genuine interaction over just getting huge numbers of followers. On this table just lays it out perfectly. This is the great online shift. We're moving away from those big, mainstream platforms where the goal is just mass reach and the vibe is all noise, and we're moving toward these niche spots where the goal is deep connection. It's a shift from just broadcasting to actually belonging. And for people like us, it's about finally finding the signal in all that static. So if these little micro-communities are the answer, what makes them actually work? How do they build that deep sense of trust and connection that's missing from everywhere else? Well, it turns out there's a hidden framework that explains it all. And here's the part that almost no one talks about. The secret blueprint for this new social world, It doesn't come from a sociologist or a tech genius. It comes from an old-school business marketing textbook. Yeah, a concept designed to sell stuff turns out to be the hidden key to building real human connection.
It was originally called the loyalty ladder, but let's call it the ladder of connection. It's a really simple 5-step model for how we build trust. You start on the outside as a prospect. Then you have one little interaction and you become a first-timer. You come back and engage again, and now you're a repeat. Then you start choosing that group over others, you become loyal. And finally, you believe in it so much you start telling your friends, you become an advocate. It's this super clear step-by-step path from total stranger to a core part of the group. And this really is the whole idea in a nutshell. The future isn't about who has the biggest audience. It's about who has the most focused and truly engaged one. It's all about depth over breadth. And that right there is the real magic. This ladder isn't actually about marketing products. It is the fundamental architecture of belonging. It's the invisible structure that explains how a book club becomes like a second family, or how a bunch of fans becomes a real movement. And I promise you, once you see this 5-step pattern, you are going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere. But that brings us to one final, really important question. As we get better and better at building these perfect, intentional communities filled with people who are just like us, what are we accidentally losing? Are we creating deeper belonging? Sure, but at the cost of building these perfect, inescapable echo chambers? That's something to think about.
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.